Some of you have asked, how have I fastened down my key cutting machine? And I'm going to show you just how nicely this little beauty is fastened down with 3 bolts through plywood. So stay tuned. So this is a Ninja. It's about 10 years old. Has an all aluminum base. And I built a platform for it in my key truck, my van. And being all aluminum and about 1/2 inch thick, you can easily drill through this. But there is a problem if you're not careful. And I kind of ran into it right here. But I was able to solve it. The carriage slides in and out. And they have a plastic cover that fits over all this stuff, right? Kind of hard to do. Gotta lift these up, but it goes like that, right? Oh, this is the sad part. So when this thing's moving around, this part right here was my problem child. It wanted to hit, believe it or not, the head of this fastening bolt. So I had to grind that down and turn it into like a screw. I could have went and bought, I guess, an all thread tapered screw. I guess I could have done that, but I had this carriage bolt. So I ground it down and I put a slot on it. And it clears. The plastic does not hit anywhere, but boy, you can't let that happen. So be really mindful of that kind of problem. And I'm just hold the camera to show you all these different locations. I used rubber grommets in the 2 back fasteners. Let's get this up. There's the other one. And I didn't over torque it. You know, the whole machine runs on being dead level on this platform they built. And they, you know, all the slides, everything's within tenths. So nothing's over torqued. This is barely there. If you can see, I can turn the washers, which is nice. You have to be able to not over torque. If you bend this aluminum, you really defeated their making this on one piece of an aluminum platter. That's how they all build them now. So this was their first idea. So I bolted it through, and it's going to be really impossible, I think, now to see it because I added a little platform underneath here. Let's just see if I can get to it. Oh yeah. So there's the other side. I use aviation nuts and washers. This one I had to cut really close because my table, when I put my little table underneath, it would have hit because it jumps down 3/4 of an inch here. But this plywood is 2 3/4 inch pieces of plywood glued and nailed together. So I blasted them with some brad nails and glued it like crazy. So I have 1.5 inch base for this to set on. And it cantilevers over the top of some shelves. This is not going anywhere. You do not want this to start bouncing. Worst thing you could do is have this machine bounce while you're driving. It's in the center of my van. So my van is, you know, the standard van length. And this is in the most stable part, the center. On rubber grommets, bolted through 1.5 inch plywood. Not over torqued. I decided I was going to put memory foam down. I did not take their rubber feet off their machine. And I used memory foam. And you know, this had to go back to factory, and these guys never freaked out for me drilling through their machine. And they could have, because it was under warranty. They could have said, hey, you wrecked our machine. but I never nothing's over torqued. It's barely there. But I don't want this in the event I hit the brakes and I go flying, you know, through the windshield, and this comes with me or takes out a passenger. Heaven forbid. So that's how I did it. I mounted it on top of and a half plywood, all beautifully screwed into the van, glued, and then bolted my machine to it. But really, I could rock it if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. It's barely snug down, and the weight of the machine has pushed its feet into that memory foam. There you have it, guys. You wanted to know why and how, so I thought I'd just accommodate you. Nuts and bolts and all the good stuff of having a nice, well-built key machine and mounted on a beautiful piece of plywood table. Thank you, guys. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll have more door and lock tips coming your way. Thank you so much.